I'm Ted Keys in Pasadena, California. Welcome to my Tuesday conference call, a free high-powered meeting I hold live every Tuesday for top producing freight agents. Go to tedkeysonline.com for complete call information. Then join us weekly to see new, serious, struggling, and experienced sales professionals move more freight efficiently, effectively, effortlessly, and make more money financially. So watch my recorded call topic highlighted there on your screen right now. When you're finished, go to tedkeysonline.com and hear more podcasts. Read more blog posts, watch more videos, and while you're there, visit my Freight Sales Success Store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. Enjoy watching and applying my Tuesday conference call.
Hello and welcome everybody again to my Tuesday conference call. This is a call I do every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. I, Ted Keys, your host, will go over every Tuesday a number of different areas on how to move more freight, move it more effectively, efficiently, productively, so you make more money financially. Let's go ahead and go to one of those emails that I sent you today, folks. Once you get to the email, just scroll down to the attachments on the bottom. Today, I'm going to talk about objections. Specifically, I titled this, I object to your blank. You fill in the blank. There are an infinite amount of objections we can receive as freight sales agents. The solution, though, is how do we respond to these objections? It's just part of our profession. We're going to get them. Your situation is how will you respond to these? Will you crawl into a corner and cover yourself up, or will you stand up and stand firm and ask the important questions that are required to at least get your prospect's contact info? Let's go ahead and scroll down to those attachments, folks. The first attachment on our call today is, as I usually do, I go over our agent leaderboard. Just open that up. You'll see our Green Meadows Productions leaderboard. Again, all I can do is reiterate this into your mind. Your goal is to get your name on our leaderboard. Once you get it on there, wherever it is, make it a goal to climb up that leaderboard. I'll tell you this, if you're climbing, you're doing well, you're making more money financially, you're learning what's required to be a successful freight sales agent in this industry. Okay, let's move on to that second attachment. Second attachment is titled. Now, if you've been with us a while, I've gone over this with you specifically and personally, but this attachment is titled 10 Common Freight Sales Objections You'll Hear When Calling a Shipping Decision Maker. These are the 10 most common objections that we'll hear. Now, I'm going to go over these one by one in more of a quick way. But the first objection we typically hear, and let me just reiterate, objections are part of our profession. We're going to receive them. Here's the reason why we receive them. The reason why we receive objections is when you call a prospect or a shipping decision maker for the first time, this individual that you're speaking to does not know you. Not only do they not know you, but you're taking up time in their day. You have to think of it from their side. You're interrupting them while they're doing their work. That's the first thing you have to consider. That's one of the reasons, or one of the main reasons, why they attempt to run you off the phone, because they don't know you and you're interrupting their work process. Think of when a telemarketer calls you at night. It's the first thing you think of. Oh, man, I was just in the middle of my favorite TV show. I don't have time for you. Not only that, but I don't have any use for your service. That's what a prospect is typically thinking for the first time. So you have to realize that you're interrupting their day. You're interrupting their flow of work. That's why you're going to receive one of these 10 common objections from your prospect for the first time. So let's go over these objections. The first one they're going to tell you is, we're real slow right now. Here's the thing. He may have like 5 different forklifts running behind him, loading 5 different trucks, and he'll tell you that he's real slow right now. Why does he tell you that? Well, it's easy to say that because can you see that he's actually slow? Well, no, you're on the other end of a telephone. So that's an objection that you'll hear. We're real slow right now. Objection number 2 is, we're not looking for new contacts right now. I'm not looking to add to my current list of brokers and carriers. My list is full up. Again, these objections are easy to say. Why are they easy to say? Well, in a way, a lot of them are unproven. I can't show you that I'm real slow right now. I can't show you my list here that that's got 10 different brokers and 10 different carriers on it. So that's why we'll hear these objections. That's why they're so common. Number 3, we're happy with our contacts right now. We're happy with who we're working with. I am totally content in my comfort zone working with the 10 individuals that I already am with right now. So I'm happy. I'm content. I'm not looking to add to my list. That is number 3. Number 4 is, we have our own trucks to ship our products. We have our own equipment to make all of our deliveries. Well, you may have a delivery to Jacksonville, Florida, and you're in La Mirada, California. Does that mean that you send your trucks to Jacksonville? Now, again, you can't just come out and say this to somebody. I mean, you can if you actually have that information, provided they told you that, they ship across the country. But there's another objection. So we have our own trucks to ship our products. Some folks will say that to you, and they don't own one truck. Again, it's easy to say that. It's not something that they can prove to you over the phone. Objection number 5 is, we only use asset-based carriers, no brokers. Well, if you call a company like Target or Walmart or any of these super large retailers, there's a high probability that they only use asset-based carriers. They have no need for brokers to step in. Plus, the asset-based carriers like Swift, J.B. Hunt, Schneider, they're going to be calling these folks anyway to keep their thousands of trucks busy. So objection number 5, we only use asset-based carriers, no brokers. Expect to hear that if you call a company like that, like one of these super large retailers like Costco or whoever it may be, Sam's Club, Walmart. Number six, objection number 6 is, we only use broker X to ship our freight. We only use broker X to ship our freight, and you wonder, wow, you only use one broker to ship your freight? How can that be? How could you be so, mellow where you will only use one broker to ship your freight? Now, believe me, that is an ultimate goal, to have a shipper only use you to ship their freight. That's the sweet spot right there, but it happens very infrequently. So objection number 6, we only use broker X to ship our freight. Number 7, we only ship boxes, packages, crates, cartons, etc. If somebody actually tells you that, there's a high probability that's only what they ship. And if that's all they ship, you don't want to pursue them. We are only interested in somebody or a company that ships a full pallet and up. We are not interested in shipping a box. We're not interested in shipping a Gaylord. We're not interested in shipping a package, an envelope, a carton. That is not what we do. We ship a minimum of a full pallet and up. Number 8, all of our freight is set up by our customers. All of our freight is set up by our customers. Unfortunately, I really, really dislike it when I hear that because, A, there's a high probability that they're telling you the truth, and B, they don't have a requirement for your service because all of their customers move their freight. Now, you can be very bold after you hear that and say, well, I have trucks in the area all the time. Could you just give me the name of one customer? They could give it to you, or they won't. I believe we have an agent that recently said that he said that, and they actually gave him a customer name. Hey, all you can do is ask. But when you hear that all of our freight is set up by our customers, all of our freight is customer driven, all of our freight is done by our customers, high probability that you won't be, or they will not be adding you to a freight list because they don't have one. Number 9, we're already working with your company. We're already working with your company. That's objection 9. Typically, when you hear we're already working with your company, all you have to do is go to LDI Freight and look up and see if they're working with our company. If they're listed as a protected account, yes, there's a 100% probability that they are already working with our company. Now, if you look them up and they don't show, yeah, they could be working with our company, but they just haven't been shipped to in 45 days, which means that they're still available. When that happens, all you have to do is call our corporate office and ask them, hey, is this company, is XYZ company on our customer list? And they will check to see if they are and whether they have been shipped to in a while. Number 10, objection number 10 is, I don't have time, call me back next week. High probability that they don't have time for you. As I said earlier, you're interrupting their flow. You're interrupting their day. They may be in the middle of loading a truck themselves. You don't know. Call me back next week. Well, I'll tell you this. If they say call me back next week, that means the door of opportunity is still open and available for you to call them back next week. Here's a solution to any one of these objections, and you can say this. Now, if they say we only use asset-based carriers, no brokers, we only use broker X, all of our freight is set up by our customers, still ask this question. Your response to any of these objections is, when you ever have to search for another truck, really emphasize that. When you ever have to search for another truck, do you keep your options open to other carriers? Wait for them to respond. Let me repeat that again. When you ever have to search for another truck, do you keep your options open to other carriers? Wait for them to respond. Give it a 2-second pause. When they answer yes, follow up with, what's your email to send you my info? The main line is, do you keep your options open to other carriers? The reason why you say that is this. Nobody wants to feel like they've got a stiff neck. Nobody wants to feel like they are inflexible. Well, I take that back. Some people do. But for the most part, most of the people in our population, including shipping decision makers, don't want to feel like they are inflexible. So when you say, do you keep your options open to additional or other carriers, 90-95% of the time they'll say, if they actually do look for trucks, if they actually do have a freight list, they will say yes. Then you'll follow up with, what's your email to send you my info? One or two things to remember again, folks. Objections are inevitable. You're going to receive them, but here's the thing. You don't have to run into the corner and hide when you get them. All you have to do is stand firm, listen to what they tell you, write notes down as they do, and get ready to ask that response down below in green on the attachment. Okay, let's X out of there and open up that third attachment, folks. Open up that third attachment. New topic here. I'm gonna get more specific, and that is, I'm going to tell you 6 responses. We just went over this. 6 responses. When you hear the objection, we only use broker X to ship our freight. I'm going to give you 6 responses when you hear that objection. Now let me just read a little example here, a little story here. A TV commercial showed a real estate agent asking her new homeowner, her home buyer customers, "So, have you shopped for your mortgage yet? Have you shopped for your mortgage yet?" The wife responded, "Yeah, we have a mortgage broker." The agent, being very astute to this type of response, said, "Oh, how do you know he's getting you the best deal?" Responds with again, "Oh, how do you know he's getting you the best deal?" Well, the husband and wife look at each other and sheepishly confess, "Oh, we don't. We don't know if we're getting the best deal. All we know is that we have a mortgage broker." Well, of course, the agent goes on to explain the benefits of her service. This is an example of a clever way to deal with the statement, "We only use broker X to ship our freight in our profession." Now, what was different about the real estate agent's approach? Here's what she did. She used a question, and a question is more appropriate to combat the same objection we receive than a statement. What does that mean? Typically, when you ask a question, there's a high probability that you're going to get a response. You see, a statement proclaiming about how great you are is always argumentative in most circumstances. Not only does it attack your prospect's choice and belief, which basically is fruitless, but it doesn't address the process someone must go through in order to change their mind. See, what happens is when somebody says that we only use broker X to move our freight, what you have to do is you have to change their mind. You do that by asking a question. You see, a question gets your prospect talking about their situation and ideally causes them to doubt their position. The doubt must first be there before they'll change their mind. So in reality, you have to create doubt in their mind. They may be using broker X to move their freight, but it doesn't mean that broker X is giving them the best service. Or you could even give them better service. But in order to get them to change their mind, you have to create some doubt in their mind. So here are some other examples of questions to use when you hear this response, "We only use broker X to ship our freight." Response number 1, "I see. How often do you review broker X's freight service?" Great question. Here's response number 2. "How did you select broker X initially?" And again, when I say broker X, you could put anybody in there. You could put any 3PL company in there. I'm just referring it to broker X today, just so you know. Response number 3. "What do you do to ensure you're getting broker X's best price?" Whenever you call a prospect, boy, make sure you have these answers in front of you or taped on your wall or on a bulletin board. So response number 3 is, what do you do to ensure you're getting broker X's best price? And again, when you ask these questions, you have to pause and wait for their response. You see, that's how doubt will be created, by you actually closing your mouth and wait to see what your prospect tells you. Now, here's number 4. What type of evaluation process do you go through to be sure you're getting the best freight price and service from broker X? It's a little scripted. I mean, say it in your own words, but it has the same effect. Number 5, how do you, what do you do to keep up with the latest innovations in the freight industry, and does broker X assist you in those areas? What do you do to keep up with the latest innovations in the freight industry, and does broker X assist you in those areas? So, all great responses, again, in the form of a question of what you can say to your prospect when you hear, "Hey, I don't need you. I already deal with Broker X. Think of the exact resistance statements you usually hear along the lines of when you hear, I'm already working with C.H. Robinson. Now, I know all of you that have been with me for a while, you've already heard that. I already work with C.H. Robinson. I already work with this guy. I already work with that guy. When you hear that, use these questions, modify them, or come up with your own in order to get your prospect to doubt their position in reference to only using C.H. Robinson. Boy, if somebody tells me that they only use C.H. Robinson, I just immediately cringe, because if they only use C.H. Robinson, they have problems, or they have issues, or they have challenges, just like they would with any other 3PL company, they say. After you ask those questions, guys, prepare for their answers and what you'll say next with your next question. 6 great responses when you hear the objection, we only use Broker X or this company or that company to ship our freight. Okay, let's move on. Let's go ahead and open up that 4th attachment. That 4th attachment reads, remember when you're calling your prospects and customers that fear is an emotion driven by ignorance. Really start thinking, I deserve their business. Instead of thinking, I'm going to get an objection, just remember this, that the fear you have in your mind, it's strictly an emotion driven by your own ignorance. Once you start saying, hey, I deserve this company's business, your words, the words that you use, will be followed up with that thought. But if you keep thinking, hey, I'm going to get this objections, people are going to object to me left and right, then you're just going to remain fearful, and this emotion of ignorance is going to stay with you. The only way how it's going to leave is that if you keep doing it over and over again, minimum 3 new contacts a day. There's a reason why I say that. It's to build your contact list and to get in the mode of becoming the professional that you are. Okay, attachment number 4. Attachment number 4 reads again, remember when you're calling your prospects and customers that the number 1 word that all humans hear from the time of birth until the time of age 18 is the word no. Number 1 word that all humans hear from the time of birth until age 18 is no. Unfortunately, we take this into our adult life, and unfortunately in our profession, we take this thought into calling our prospects. Deep down inside our subconscious, we feel that we're going to hear a no. Just remember, it's there. All you have to do is change it. Change it by calling over and over again and receiving positive results as you get better and better at this profession. But going in, if you feel that you're going to get a no, it's only because it's ingrained into your mind. All you have to do is call over and over again, get people on your contact list, start moving freight, and that thought goes away. Let's go ahead and open up that 6th attachment. Number of attachments in this realm today. Remember when you're calling your prospects and customers to never take a no personally. After all, whoever you just called, they don't know you. It's just an idea they were resisting, and they were only resisting it temporarily. Over time, you can change their ideas, and you'll change that by continuing to call, continuing to email, continuing to build a relationship with your prospects. My main point in this is never take a no personally. There's a high probability that, hey, some other broker just called the same prospect earlier, and they're taking it out on you, or they just said no to the other guy. But here's the thing, don't take it personally. Remember, they don't know you. It's only an idea that they're resisting at the current time. Never take a no personally. Let's go on to attachment number 7. Attachment number 7 reads, remember when you're calling your prospects and customers, so what if you heard a no on your last call? So what if so what if somebody said no to you? As long as you learned from the experience and did your best, you can feel proud. That's the only that's the end result that you want to feel after you hang up the phone with somebody. Not only is it your desire and your goal to get their contact info, it's to feel proud. But if you heard a no, just think about what happened that where you heard the no. As long as you learned from the experience and you did your best, you did the absolute best that you could, you can feel proud. But so what if you heard it? No big deal. It's not like nobody reached through the phone and grabbed you or strangled you. That won't ever happen. Let's go ahead and open up that 8th attachment, attachment number 8. Again, remember when you're calling your prospects and customers that the no you received on the previous call has nothing to do with the results you'll get on the next call. So get back at it and place your next call. So what if you heard a no? That has nothing to do with what's going to happen on your next call. Keep it going. One more time, the no you received on the previous call has nothing to do with the results you'll get on the next call, but here's the thing, you have to make the next call. Get back at it and place the next call. You won't receive any more contact info if you don't make your next call. All right, let's go ahead and open up that 9th attachment. As you all know or may know, I am a firm believer in the Bible. I'm a firm believer in the Word of God. A lot of what I teach is from the Bible, and I integrated here into my last document called My Bible Insight. Now, what am I going to talk about today? Well, my main point today is that godly freight agents understand the importance of making good choices. A good choice that you can make is every day build your contact list. Now that's a good choice. By getting on the phone, overcoming objections, getting past the no's, and getting contact information, that is a great choice. But let me repeat it again. Godly freight agents understand the importance of making good choices. Now, where does that come from? That comes in the Bible from Deuteronomy, Old Testament, chapter 30, verse 19. It states, I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. This is God speaking. Choose life so that you and your descendants may live, love the Lord your God, obey him, and remain faithful to him. Hold on a second, folks. Now, what does Deuteronomy verse 30:19 really mean? Well, I'll tell you. From the instant we wake up in the morning to the moment we nod off to sleep at night, we make countless decisions. Amen to that. Decisions about the things we do, decisions about the words we speak, and decisions about the thoughts we choose to think. Simply put, the quality of those decisions determines the quality of our life. Let me say that again. The quality of the decisions that we make every day determines the quality of our lives. Now, as believers who have been saved by a loving and merciful God, we have every reason to make wise choices. Every reason to make wise choices as a believer of a loving God. Yet sometimes amid the inevitable hustle and bustle of life here on earth, we allow ourselves to behave in ways that we know are displeasing to God. When we do, we forfeit, albeit temporarily, the joy and peace that we might otherwise experience through him. So, as you examine your own leadership style, your calling style, your conversational style with your prospects, consider how many things in this life you can control. You can control your thoughts, your words, your priorities, and your actions. Just for starters, And then, if you sincerely want to discover God's purpose for your life, make choices that are pleasing to Him. He deserves no less, and neither do you. So, application. How do we apply what I just said? How do we apply Deuteronomy 30:19? Every day you make hundreds of choices, and the quality of those choices determines the quality of your day, your career, and your life. Let me just throw this in there. If you sit around all day moping, that is the end result. If you take action, if you get on the phone, make your phone calls, quote your rates, you will be the recipient of those actions. You decide. C.S. Lewis tells it this way: every time you make a choice, you're turning the central part of you, the part that chooses, into something a little different from what it was before. That's what happens as we make choices. We change. You just have to decide, are you going to change in a positive direction or in a negative direction? All right, great topic for today. Objections, how to handle them. For those of you folks that are on the call today and you have a burning desire to be a top-notch freight agent of Green Meadows Productions, then give me, Ted Keys, a call at 626-309-9141. Any questions involving our topic today about overcoming objections, call me, Ted Keys, at the same number, 626-309-9141. You have any desire to listen to this again in a podcast form, then go to my website, tedkeysonline.com, and click on the podcast link. You'll be able to hear a host of them. Every call I've done for the last 2 years now. Any questions involving our LDI freight system? That is a call from my beautiful wife, Maria. Call her at the same number, 626-309-9141. Pleasure talking to you today, folks, over a great topic, a topic that's going to come up over and over again because it happens over and over again. Take care. God bless. We will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You've just taken a tremendous step forward by watching and applying my Tuesday conference call highlight. Do you desire to earn and learn with our top freight team and Christian-based office? Yes? We're searching for a self-starter who's serious, motivated, and ready to take action right now. Is that you? Go to tedkeysonline.com/contacts and enter your contact details. We provide top-notch freight agent sales training to you. Then you deliver those same skills with confidence to the freight industry marketplace. I'll talk to you soon.